To the world weather now, a trough over Queensland near. In Southeast Asia, thunder in Bangkok and Singapore, partly cloudy in Denpasar and Jakarta. Further north, fine in Beijing, rain in Hanoi and Manila, cloudy in Seoul. To Europe, fine in Athens and Madrid, showers in Belgrade and Warsaw, rain in London and Stockholm. In Africa, rain in Addis Ababa, fine in Algiers, Cairo, Casablanca and Dakar. In South America, rain in Bogota, cloudy in Buenos Aires, fine in La Paz and Santiago, drizzle in Rio de Janeiro. And for North America, fine in New York and Vancouver, showers in Chicago, Mexico City and Havana. As we approach the end of this evening's news, my final bulletin on SBS, I take my leave with sadness. Over the years, all my colleagues have featured very prominently and positively in both my life at the network and in my personal life. I'm saddest of all to leave you, the audience. Thank you for watching, and a very good night. And now it's with delight that I welcome back to SBS World News my friend and colleague, Anton Enos.
Guten Abend aus München, Lin. Having some downtime here after an enforced layoff, but just such an honor to share your last broadcast with you, and of course to have walked alongside you in the past couple of decades of your career and mine. I don't know if you know this, Lin, but my very first broadcast as a presenter on SBS World News was filling in for you on a weekend shift way back in the 20th century. And I think something I discovered quite early on, something that you already knew at that point, was that SBS was a different kind of beast in the landscape of broadcasting. It was something with color and something with verve. I think it's true to say at that time, in the 80s and 90s, there's a kind of sameness that existed across the channels, particularly the commercial channels, a bit sort of white bread, if you like. And along came SBS, small player, and then just turned that around. You particularly, I think, personified that essential point of difference because you had the confidence and the verve and the off-center styling to take that established conventionality and turn it on its head. And what we've seen over the decades, of course, as a result of that, has been an exponentially more interesting broadcasting landscape. And I think, Lin, we certainly owe you a great debt of gratitude for bringing that dash of color and style into our lives over a long period. It certainly has been a great honor being your colleague, being your friend, and for those of us who shared times together, even if it was just as watching you as an iconic broadcaster, and just echoing the wonderful words spoken there by Tomo and Foz. It's been a great honor to work alongside you, and as a kind of farewell gesture, your colleagues at SBS offer you this short visual tribute.
Lin Chin for the World News team. Good evening and welcome to the program. I'm Lin Chin. More than 4 million people were in the immediate path of the tsunami. Plane plows into building. America's worst nightmare becomes reality.
The South African government is understood to be planning to release Nelson Mandela.
The confirmed killing of 25 people at Port Arthur in Tasmania is the worst mass shooting in Australian modern history.
Excuse me. Hello.
Good morning and good day from sunny Sydney. There is no reason why a man can't wear a frilly shirt to work.